Yeah, I think the competing part and wanting to go out there and keep, trying to win matches and obviously tournaments. And in this case, what Rafa and Djokovic and Federer have done on the men's side, and I'm sure it's for the ladies is the same. If you're winning that many slams, it becomes all of a sudden like, okay, can I win the most slams and, sort of have that status forever, right? I mean, that's what they're playing for now. And the competitive side and the eagerness to, like I said, to go out there and compete and try to win, that will never go away. I mean, I still have that today. I go out and play, something meaningless, on a tennis court. I still, all of a sudden it comes out of me. Doesn't matter who I'm playing against. Like, I want to win. Like it just, obviously if there's something on the line, the more you want to win, right? The more pressure you feel, like, okay, let's go after it and try to see if I can get that feeling. And, winning is, it's such a rush. It's like, I don't know, it's something that, you just you want more of it. And while you're doing it, that's, when you go out there, losing is just, when you go up to the net and you shake hands, losing, it doesn't matter if you're injured, doesn't matter if you had a bad day, doesn't matter what's going on. It's just not a great feeling. So, you do everything that they can, and they do everything that they can to be in the best shape, to give themselves the best opportunity to try to win matches. In this case, big titles for those players. And you hope that you do everything off the court to remain healthy. And that's sort of like the tricky part. In my case, sometimes, unfortunately, I had a tendon that is 80% torn off the bone. So no matter what rehab, exercises I did, or not, no matter what, if I injected, PRP or, cortisone shot, it didn't always, work in order to get rid of that pain after a certain time. And, it required surgery. So when you have surgery and, you're out for sometimes a year before you can come back, that's tough. And then, you have to remain calm mentally, and you have to remain, focused on the rest of the body during that time. And then you start to compensate and other things happening with the body. So it's a gamble. It's a tough situation to be in. So, as we have learned more about those situations, I think everybody is very aware of the fact that you got to do just as much work off the court, if not more, to be prepared and healthy and fit and strong, mentally tough, then, when you actually go out on the court. So everything of that is taken care of, and you can just focus at what's at hand, and that is trying to win the important points and be ready to go. I mean, number one, the facility is absolutely amazing. You have the breathtaking views around with the mountains. You have the desert weather, the dry heat. Weather is usually amazing as well. So looking from a point of view from the players, I think they truly enjoyed. And, again, I love the fact that they call it the fifth slam themselves. I think it's just a venue. It showcases a lot of tennis courts. So for a player, having the chance to, practice at certain times that they want is very, very important. Less traffic getting back to the hotel rooms is very, very important. And, having the good weather around. So, I'm going to practice from 10 to 11 or 4 to 5, doesn't matter. You can usually rely on that as well. And it's just, the whole area, great food on site as well, which is obviously important now, the nutrition factor for the players, and, the recovery area. You got the gym on site, and, and then you have these fans that are just, they're so appreciative of just, coming and being up close and personal to the stars. And, I think we've created a really nice environment for them to be very up close and personal to the players, to see where they warm up on the grass area. It's always nice to see sort of like what are the athletes doing, before they even go on court, a stretching routine, or, warming up the mobility of the body. Is it playing a little soccer or throwing around a football? It's very interesting, and they're always curious. And then being so close to the practice courts in itself, to see the warm up and what they're training on, and what they might be talking about to their coaches or physios while it's going on. They still relax a little bit during practice as well. And then you just have, like I said, breathtaking gardens around, and, flowers and these palm trees, and, you feel like eating some sushi. Yeah, here's a Nobu restaurant in Stadium 2, that is obviously just been built here, 7-8 years ago. So, facility is great. You don't feel like, you're on top of each other, even though there could be a lot of people walking around, especially the first weekend when you have, 30,000-40,000 people there. It's, it's just fun. It's nice. I don't know if you watch or have Netflix. I don't know if you've seen sort of like a little bit of that whole thing with Sakari and Fritz, when they're being followed in Indian Wells. So you kind of get a good idea of what the facility looks like. I mean, it's great. And, we're very happy and lucky to, or I'm very lucky to be part of it, and somehow try to enhance the experience every year and make it a little better. Yeah, no, it's it's always like as we say, you have one of the greats, Roger Federer retiring, and he hasn't been playing obviously in the desert for a few years now, and Novak couldn't still can't get into the country, unfortunately. Hopefully they lift that rule here in the next couple of weeks so he can come to Indian Wells. But Rafa is always a fan favorite. He's done well in the desert. He loves coming out there. He obviously loves playing golf there as well, and staying at the private residence of the owner of the tournament, Larry Ellison. So he always has a great time. But he injured himself, in the match down in Australia, and I think he's still resting. He's going to do some more testing here in the next few days, weeks, and so his start, unfortunately, I think in Indian Wells is still a little bit questionable. I have no doubt in my mind that he's going to try everything he can to try to come back and defend his run to the finals last year. But knowing him also a little bit, and being around in tennis for a while, I know that his focus is probably shifting towards the clay court season already, with the big goal of trying to win another French Open title, which I always forget. But I think he's won 14 or something. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And I don't think we speak about it enough. But going for number 15, whatever. So there's still a 50-50 chance that he's coming to Indian Wells, in my opinion. I hope he certainly comes. I think all the fans certainly do as well. So, we keep our fingers crossed on that end. Djokovic, like I said, is questionable in the situation that he's in right now still, because of the mandates that, he can't get into the country yet. So hopefully that's going to be a chance for him to come back. I know that he wants to come back. I know he's eager to come back. So that's a good thing. It kind of shifts the focus to a young player like, Carlos Alcaraz, who had a run there last year, getting to, the quarters there, I think it was last year, and obviously having such a breakthrough season, being the year-end youngest number one player of all time. He's been missing a couple of months now due to injuries, so I'm sure he's eager to be there and come back and have a run, a shot at the title. Obviously, Taylor Fritz, you have to, give him credit for winning it last year. What a run, Southern California boy, first tournament his parents take him to. His dad saying that he's going to win this tournament one day, and, those dreams come true. It's kind of an amazing story. So he's going to do everything he can do to defend his title. He loves playing there. He's always a very dangerous player there as well. And then you have many other young Americans on the rise too, right? With Tiafoe and, Tommy Paul and, Ben Shelton. I mean, it's exciting times in American tennis again. You have a lot of players in the top 50. Riley Opelka, who's dangerous, coming back. A few old-timers in there as well. And so who knows what's going to happen there? And then, you still can't forget about Tsitsipas and the Zverevs and the Berrettinis and the Casper Ruuds and Medvedev and, the Russians. So it's like, it's going to be very, very, very interesting. And I can't wait to see what the draw is going to unfold, where everybody is going in which direction. And then the women's side, the same. I'm proud of myself. I think I called Zabalenka to win the tournament after she won the third or fourth round match. She's looking like a new player in a way, like mentally very focused, and she finds a way to sort of, still gets her emotions out and her anger, but, try to refocus right away, and playing extremely well, a lot of confidence. So I see her as one of the favorites going into Indian Wells. Sakari last year did well there. Badoza has won there. Andreescu has won there in the past. So even the people that have done well in the past always like to come back and play well. So even there could be a lot of good storylines. Hopefully everyone is fit by that time to come to Indian Wells and showcase the best part of it, which is the tennis part. Yeah, I mean, I think we've all been through a lot over the last couple of years, and I think it's just, a big sigh of relief in the end of the day, right? Like, I think we're all happy that there's less talk about the situation, and that, you can just kind of go back to the swing of things. You can, bring your family, bring your kids. You don't have to look at restrictions, this or that. So I think that's going to be, or that's a big positive for everyone involved. And, for people that are still a little bit nervous, that maybe don't want to be around too many people or be outside or be sitting next to each other, if it's not for you, then, stay home. And for the people that are happy and lucky enough to be able to come, I think they're going to come. And I think we're going to see a big uproar and people coming out again, and wanting to support and see live tennis and be a part of it. And, makes life so much easier, right? Without having to worry about this and that. So it's it's nice, it's a good thing. And personally, I think we all are pretty much happy that we're back to normal. Well, if Novak Djokovic happens to somehow be a part of it, he would be my favorite, especially the way he's been playing. winning the Australian Open. I would go with, if Alcaraz is healthy and he's up to it. I think he's a tough person to beat. I do like always the people that actually have done well the year before. So, Taylor Fritz is definitely one of those players again that if he has a good draw and wins a few rounds, it's going to be very, very hard to beat there with the support of the crowd and being at home. And on the women's side, I would take Swiatek again with her style of play there. Zabalenka obviously with that confidence that she must have. Sakari moves well there as well. She plays good. Paula Badoza has done well there in the past, and maybe there's a breakthrough of somebody else coming through. Leila Fernandez, I think she's a lefty good player. Coco Gauff, I think again there's potential for her there. So if she gets maybe a breakthrough, the storyline is. Again, anyone can take it really, and a lot of players have been getting hot and taking it, further, and who knows? And you can never forget about the past champions. Usually when you come to a tournament where you've done well in the past, you always have a good feeling about your chances. I think it's a great place. Couldn't be better in my opinion. I mean, obviously, yes, we miss Roger, of course. Do we miss Serena? Yes, of course. But there comes a time in life when you have to hang up the racket. It's just that simple. Did we miss Agassi? Did we miss Sampras or other players? Steffi Graf? Yes, but you have to accept it, and the sport will always rise above players, and it will continue. That's the beauty of it. It doesn't matter. I wish I could still see maybe Joe Montana throw a football, but it's over. It's now Tom Brady is done. It's like, okay, who's next? Oh, you got Mahomes. All right, there we go. It's now you have Alcaraz, you have Casper Ruud, whatever, whoever you favor. Tsitsipas, wow, amazing. Ons Jabeur, different type of style. Swiatek coming out of dominating. So there will always be storylines. I think with Netflix bringing out the story of tennis behind the scenes called Breakpoint, opens up a lot of people's eyes a little bit more about what it's like to live a life as a professional tennis player, and how much we travel. You kind of get to meet and sort of see and maybe have a different point of view about certain players because you get to know them as well, which is obviously great for our game. It's one of the biggest global sports there is, and it always will be, in my opinion. And it's great. And tournaments like Indian Wells will keep pushing to make it one of those amazing events where the players want to continue coming to, the fans keep on striving to show up, and the sponsors want to be a part of it. That's our philosophy, and we will continue to do the best we can.